Hello my lovely people, welcome to my channel once again. In today's tutorial you're going to be learning how to make this beautiful design on the skirt. If you want to learn how to make the top and down fan, make sure you check my channel. I already made a video on how to make all of this. Okay, so without further ado, let's get started. Okay, so these are the materials that I'm going to be using. You can decide to use any material of your choice, okay? But for mine, I used this doll face fabric for the design, as you can see. Then I used the crinoline to make it stand. Now you can decide on how wide of crinoline you want, the width of the crinoline you desire. This is 2 inches wide and this is 3.5 inches wide. So just determine the width of the crinoline you desire. For me, I'm going to be using this 2 inches width of crinoline. Okay, so now remember that I'm using 2 inches of crinoline. So for you to get this, if you're using 2 inches just like I'm using, you're going to cut out 5 inches for your width of your fabric, the fabric that you're going to be using to cover your crinoline. If you're using 3 inches, that means you're going to be cutting out 7 inches because you need the 1 inch to cover up your crinoline, the 1 inch excess to cover up your crinoline. Okay, so now this is how you're going to be doing this. This is very easy. Under 5 minutes you are done. So now you place your crinoline in between, just like you see me do. For you to get your center part, you can even go ahead to just iron it out so that you know where your center part is. So you cover up the edge here because you know that the edge of crinoline can be really sharp and it can poke out all through. So you cover the edge just like you see me do. And after doing that, the next thing is to stitch the side. And when you're stitching the side, remember that we have 0.5 inches excess on both sides. That's 1 inch. So that is what you're going to be stitching on. Do not stitch on the crinoline. Do not stitch on the crinoline. Okay, so you go ahead and then you stitch, and after that you can serge that part so that you are sure that you do not have any rough edges. Very important for you not to have any rough edges. This is going to make your work neater or professional, or you can fold it the way I'm folding it. Okay, just make sure that you do not have any rough edges, or you can use your bias tape to even cover up the edge. And I'm using just 3 yards of crinoline. So if you want yours to be more fuller, you can buy a pack. Okay, and you, instead of making it by the side, you can make your design from the beginning to the end of your skirt. Okay, but because I have just limited crinoline, I'm just going to be using it at the side. So I'm marking 9 inches from the waist of my skirt, and I'm going to just go ahead to just draw out the shape that I desire. So I drew it out from that part to like almost my knee part, like almost 18 inches from the waistline. Okay, then after that you're going to just sew your covered crinoline all around. You can decide to unstitch it, okay, or you can decide to use your sewing machine, depending on whatever works for you. And before you sew, make sure that you have not sewn the center back, because so that it's going to be easier for you to open it wide and work with. I've already sewn mine, and I'm going to go ahead to loosen it when I want to sew this together. So make sure that you draw out all of the layers that you want, and once you're doing this, make sure that you do not have too much space in between, because if you have space in between, it's not going to look really good. So you can make sure maybe like the spacing to be like a 1/4 inch from each other, or like 1/2 inch from each other. So once it's clustered together, it's going to come out more beautiful. I'm working with limited fabric, so I was only able to get just 4 layers of this. Okay, so you just do this all around. Make sure you draw out all of the shape you want so that it will be very easier for you when you want to sew. You just follow that same line. It's as easy as that. You either unstitch it and tack it, or you sew it on your sewing machine. So it's as simple as that. That is basically all. Okay, so I'm just going to show you a little clip on how I did mine. So you can see I'm just following the shape that I desire, and you just have to be careful with it. Just do it gently so that you're going to be able to get that shape that you desire. Okay, so you can see that because I already marked it, is actually easier for me to work with, and already losing the center back so that I have enough space to work with, and I'm able to maneuver the fabric however. So it's as simple as that. So thank you for watching. This is the final result.